All right, welcome DeanBodi podcast. Welcome. This is a special episode. R.I.P. to Don Shula, greatest football coach ever to ever live, to ever coach the game. 1972 undefeated season. How's everybody doing? Oh, wow, we got a different angle today. Look out. Who's producing this show? Unbelievable. So, it's a special edition with the Dolphins. Wow. So this brings me to a story today of my Little League football career. And we went undefeated. 65-pound football. K-Land, Miami, Florida. What a season. Shout out to my brother Jamie, who coached the team. And it's amazing we could even see the plays he was calling with the giant afro he had. But we got it done, man. We got it done. What a selection of players. And we put together a team, and we went undefeated, believe it or not. So this is taking me down to a story because we're going to call it, this did happen in Miami, by the way. And I was born in Miami, by the way. Born a Dolphin fan. Will die a Dolphin fan, and so this is kind of touching my heart, but I want to keep it on a high note and not make it a depressing one. Don, great memories from just since I was a kid to you going into the steakhouse business and eating at your restaurant and seeing all the memorabilia around your restaurants. Incredible. Just everything, every time I think about that part of my life, that era, it's just a warm fuzzy and just unbelievable. Growing up where I grew up, the Dolphins, the whole thing, Little League football was incredible. So the undefeated season, I'm going to call it, I had my 15 minutes of fame, literally, because we actually, not only did we go undefeated, but I was selected to play on the AllStar team, AllStar Game. And we all got a chance to go to the Orange Bowl in Miami, Florida, a real stadium, artificial turf, and I'll never forget that artificial turf. And there was a scrimmage at the halftime show of the Miami Hurricane game. On each corner of the field was a scrimmage, and two teams, offense, defense. So we got to, do a few plays. When I was on that undefeated team, I played quarterback, defensive cornerback, punt return, kickoff return on the special teams, and that was probably had to be one of the greatest times of my life, going through that process. But having to get to go, being able to get to go to the that halftime show and be a part of it. Yes, we dressed up in our pads and we dressed up in our uniforms, and I did not play quarterback though. Although I wanted to. I went to another kid. I think his name was Flowers, and they chose him to be quarterback. But I got to play on the defensive side, and I said, you know what? I have like one or two plays to make a mark during this halftime show, and I'm tackling somebody, and I did. And I hit that artificial turf. It was like almost like playing on concrete. If you could picture playing a football game on carpet in your living room with like hardly any padding, that's what we played on. And I got the wind knocked out of me because I hit this guy, and I hit the ground. And it was like hitting a brick wall, but it's okay. It didn't last long. Got the wind knocked out of me. It wasn't my first time getting the wind knocked out of me at that age, for sure. And we're pretty indestructible when we're, 10 years old or so. You can fall out of a tree, bounce back up, and keep going. But, man, that was awesome. And we got to play in that halftime show. It was an undefeated season, making the All-Star team, and just to be part of that energy as we walked. I remember walking through the stands and people, just seeing me dressed up in my gear and all that stuff. Felt like a big shot. I must have been 4 foot nothing, but I felt like I was 10 feet tall. and having that Dolphins energy in the Orange Bowl Stadium where the Dolphins played, and I was attached to that season. Man, it's just all connecting, you know. Playing my electric football game. Anybody who's old enough out there to remember the electric football, unbelievable. And I used to paint my players. In Miami Dolphin colors. And playing the electric football, you line up your players and you hit the switch, and the vibration of the game would just take the players wherever they go. And one of my favorite things was the players that had the arms out like this, and they would hook up, and they would just kind of go around in a circle and sit on the field like they were doing some kind of square dance or something. But good times, man. My father, I miss you, Dad, more than anything. He owned toy stores growing up in Miami, and you know, yes, we had toys like nobody's business. If he was still around, no question in my mind, he would be the biggest toy store on the planet. And you know, wow, this is a very special episode, and I'm gonna try to see we can do a little bit of fooling around today. I got different camera angle. Okay, got one microphone on this side. We got one microphone on this side, and this screen here that's supposed to keep what they call the plosives, the P and the T sounds, from getting too out of hand. This big thing, make it any bigger, I wouldn't be able to fit it through the front door, for crying out loud. I know they make smaller ones, but the screen filter, whatever they call it, but it works. And so I have it off to the side where we don't have to. We're dancing around, doing our own little producing and whatever. We'll get better at this as we go. We're just getting kicked off, the DeanBodi show. And, you know, we had a good day today so far. Doing a little work from home, walking around the neighborhood with Bodie. We went and checked the mail. Sunny day out there. It's definitely getting warmer out here in Dallas, Texas. And I tell you, the temperature out here goes major swings. It can go from cold, next day, boom, summertime, it's in the 90s. So I'm used to it, though, being from Florida. Kind of the same kind of weather out here in Texas, but not quite as humid as it is in Florida because of the ocean and the beaches and everything. But, wow. So I'm having a good time doing this, and I'm going to see if we can find something here just to kind of mess around with where we're at and put this on the podcast, too. So get ready. Yeah. Dolphins #1. Yay, Don Shula, #1 coach. Yay. Everybody. Yeah. Congratulations, Don Shula, R.I.P. You'll go down in history as the greatest of all time. Spice that up a little bit, and you know, remember, this is DeanBodi show. Dean, I'm Dean. Bodhi is my beautiful Shiba Inu, love of my life, my four-legged soulmate that is way above and beyond the greatest relationship I've ever had. And as you know, what, she's just past 5 years old. Coming up in June, she'll be home for 5 years, and looks like the longest relationship I've ever had. And look forward to another, God willing, 20 more solid years with this beautiful beast. And she's just awesome all the way around. I can't say enough, and I'm sure I'll be bringing this up from time to time. This is part of her podcast too. And she's a Dolphin fan too. What's that, buddy? That's right. Bodhi said Don Shula's #1, 72 Dolphins #1. So, that being said, that's my Little League story in football. Another K-Land story coming out of Miami, Florida. We brought up the one with my baseball, and that was a football story. And we'll just keep dipping into the stories as we go forward. Who knows? We'll go from when I was younger, present time, in the middle. We talk about whatever we want to in the DeanBodi podcast. And remember, if you want to send in your comments or questions, DeanBodi@gmail.com. We can use some of those comments on one of the episodes. And, we'll share some of your wisdom. Anything, about anything. Just keep it on the positive side if you can, or keeping it real. That's the main thing. It doesn't have to always be positive. And, just trying to smooth out some of the rough edges. We have enough negativity and stress going on in the world right now. And we'd be happy to share some of the wisdom you have to better someone else's life. You never know. You might say that one thing that just sparks something, and somebody that may be down in the dumps, and you get them right back on track with life as the world figures this thing out. And it will. We'll figure it out. So having your head screwed on straight and keeping focus and all that, so when it does turn around, you're ready for what comes your way. So DeanBodi.com. All right, so we have a website there, and nothing fancy, but you'll see it's real. And DeanBodi@gmail.com for any wisdom or questions or comments that we can use. Okay? Make it a great day, and hope you're enjoying this as much as I am, and so much more to come as we're just getting warmed up with this and figuring things out. Too cool, right? Have a great day. Don SHULA, #1. Have an awesome day, everyone. Miami Dolphins, baby. Yes.